Hey everyone, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Georgia, and it's about suffering for other people or um, letting ourselves, I guess, if you want to say it that way, uh, feel okay and be happy and just feel whatever's moving through us when people that we love are suffering. It's an excellent question. And I want to say before I get into the question that tomorrow I'm going to be doing a free Facebook Live event here about having a brand new experience of the holidays. So, this is a time when there's just a lot going on for a lot of people around things like expectation, family, sometimes suffering for other people, loneliness, assumptions about how we're supposed to feel, a lot of habits, a lot of stuff going on always this time of year, any time of year. But our mind likes to blame it on the holidays, and there's a lot happening right now. So I'm going to do a free event on that. I'll take all your questions. I have a lot of stuff that I've heard from others that I'll share. And this is just this question today from Georgia just really falls under this umbrella really nicely because I think a lot of what does happen around the holidays is not only that we feel a lot of stuff, but we have a lot of thinking about what we feel and what we're supposed to be feeling and how the holidays are supposed to be and how they are for other people. And it gets really messy, of course. Of course it does. So, yeah, so check that out. I'll put the link to the event here in the comments. So, Georgia's short question, short and to the point. I love it, Georgia. She says, I don't feel able to let myself enjoy life because of difficulties a family member is experiencing. Ill health, loss, financial relationship difficulties. It seems wrong to carry a light heart within when she is suffering so deeply. I know she wouldn't want her situation to impact me so deeply, but it does. So I just, again, I think this is such a human topic. I love this question. It's something that I think we all deal with at various times. And, the fact that we love people and that we feel, I don't like this expression because it's not accurate, but we as humans say, oh, I feel your pain. We feel like we feel their pain. We suffer with them, with people who we love, even people who we don't know sometimes, who we don't love or don't know. I think just to say there's something so beautiful in that. Now, is it painful at times? Yes, but there's something so beautiful in that you, Georgia, love this person so much that in some way it's like something in you wants to take on their pain or your mind is so with them. Your thoughts are so with them that your thoughts are filled with what you assume that they're feeling, what you know them to be going through. And so you feel that too. And that's in a bit the problem, if we want to call it a problem, and there's for sure some stuff I want to share around that, but it's also to say like in a way that's sort of amazing and beautiful because we not only hurt when we see others hurt, we celebrate and we're happy when we see others happy. And I just think that speaks to something really huge. If we were all these separate individual people who have these boundaries around our body and keeps us different and separate from everyone else in the way that sometimes our mind tells us we are, how is it that we feel for others so much? I don't think that's even remotely possible. We are others. We see others through our own perception, through our own eyes. They are us and we are them. And there's a lot of ways in which this is incredibly true. What I'm saying is so true. A lot of ways that we truly are one. We are one energy spouting off in different physical locations, perhaps, but the boundaries are not as they seem. And in something like this, Georgia is just a beautiful example of that. So it's great that you love your family member so much that you feel for them. Now, what's not great, and what I know you're really asking about, is like that sense that we have sometimes where it's like, yes, of course, we hurt when people we love hurt and we feel for them and we have empathy, but sometimes we can feel it going off into a different direction a little bit, like you say here, you can't let yourself enjoy life. And you know that your loved one wouldn't want you to be taking on all of this for them. And really, the big red flag in what you say, the big important thing here is it seems wrong. It seems wrong to you for you to carry a light heart while someone else is suffering. And it's seeming wrong. I just want you to get curious about that. It may seem wrong. I get it, right? And it seeming wrong is different from you're just sad for them. So sometimes we're just sad, like, we just feel what we feel. We aren't doing it. You aren't in charge of your feelings, Georgia. You can't control what comes up, what doesn't come up. Life is doing this. It's just all showing up in your experience, coming to life and then moving out all the time. So this has nothing to do with you, Georgia. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's not within your control. None of that. And I really want you to sit with that piece, because that starts to simplify things a lot. You are not in charge of your feelings whatsoever, even when you think you are. Even when you are trying to stay up, or you're just like letting yourself grieve. I mean, we're not really pulling the levers on this stuff at all. Experience shows up, it's felt, it changes for every single human being on earth all the time, no exceptions. So even the whole question, which I get, we all understand you, Georgia, because we're human too, and this is how our mind thinks about it and talks about it. But even the whole question is a little bit interesting to look at in this way, because it's like, well, how could a feeling be wrong? And how could it be wrong on you, when you aren't putting the feeling there? When the energy that is life is what brings feelings to life, our mind can sit back and judge them and say, I like it, I don't like it, this one's right, this one's wrong, this is appropriate, this is inappropriate. That's just a mind doling out judgments. Our mind is not, in charge of what shows up. Like life just puts this stuff here. So it's one thing to feel like it's wrong. It's another thing to just, see your family member suffering and feel sad for them. And that's going to happen for sure. Beautiful. We get to feel what comes up, see it, feel it, let it be there, watch it move on as it always does. There's really nothing we can or need to do in that. But when we hold these beliefs, like this is wrong and I should be sad too, and or when you start to feel, which happens for people all the time, you start to feel your mind shift and you feeling okay, and then you kind of try to reel it back in, like, oh no, I can't be happy yet, this happened, or it hasn't been long enough, or he or she's still suffering. Just notice that. Again, just notice that, and notice, like, how could something be wrong, to according to whom? I mean, there is no right or wrong on feelings. There is not. We've maybe been conditioned with some thoughts about that there's an appropriate amount of time or extent to which we're supposed to grieve, or times to be happy and times to not be happy. All of that is man-made. None of that has anything to do with real life, honestly. None of it has anything to do with the natural flow of life. Life can't get it wrong. Life never gets it wrong. It is impossible for life to get it wrong. But it's very common, very possible for thought, a human mind, to say right, wrong, should be happening, shouldn't be happening. So I want you to kind of lean into that, Georgia. What if everything is exactly just as it is? We don't have to like it. It doesn't have to be fair. It doesn't have to feel good. It doesn't have to feel appropriate, but it is what it is. There's so much potential for peace in that. There's so much room, because listen, the only thing that ever really causes suffering is resistance. That's it. Identifying with stuff, and when we identify with it, we resist it. So you have some emotion coming up, positive or negative. Those are just labels too. And your mind says, oh, I'm feeling happy, that's not okay. Or, oh no, I'm feeling horrible and sad, oh, maybe this is too much. And there's so much thinking about what's showing up. But see if you can just know that the sensations, the energy, the way that life is showing up, it can't be wrong. How else could it possibly be? It's simply life doing what life does. It's like saying the weather's wrong. You may or may not like it, but it's doing its own thing. It's like saying that the way the animals in nature are working is wrong. I mean, it just is. It just is what is. And then there's a little narrator over here saying good, bad, right, or wrong. So I think it's a common feeling. Again, I feel it for sure. Like you grieve for someone or you feel sadness for what someone else is going through, but no feeling is here for long. No feeling is meant to be here for long. So that comes up, beautiful. You feel empathy, compassion for them, and then it's going to be replaced with something else. And again, you're not doing that, Georgia. So all the thinking about should and shouldn't is just kind of a moot point. I mean, your thought's going to shift. It's going to shift away from your family member to something else, and you're going to feel something else. Then maybe it shifts back to your family member and you feel whatever you feel there. Wonderful. Then it shifts away. And the thing to see that I think we so often miss is the same thing is happening for your family member. So the person who is suffering, of course, it sounds like they have a lot going on, and I'm sure there's moments of suffering, but they're also feeling their mind shift. They have a degree of resilience that we can't ever feel for them. Now, we have it too, it's not unique to them, but I think this is so fascinating to see. How often have we sat around and thought, oh, my poor kid is sick? You know, let's just use that example. My kid is sick. I bet they feel horrible. I can't believe I sent him to school today. I bet they're so tired. I hope they're making it through the day. Meanwhile, they come home, a couple hours later and they're like, "Oh, I felt fine by lunchtime." And here we were suffering and imagining all of this for them. Now again, that might not feel like it fits your scenario exactly, but I do want you to see that you don't know the degree of your family member suffering even when they tell you. Our language doesn't necessarily talk about it accurately, or like it can't capture it. So someone can say, "Oh, I feel horrible." We don't know what that means. Yet sometimes we're over in our little corner thinking, "Oh, they're so horrible." And then we're feeling horribleness to try to match their horribleness, and it doesn't even match. Like, how the heck do we know? So when someone is going through something, there is something that comes up to help them, to hold them, to support them in whatever they're feeling. That doesn't mean we don't hurt as humans, but it can be really easy to go off into our own story about someone else's hurt and kind of forget the resilience part that's happening within them. I hope that makes some sense. This whole thing, I often wonder when I'm feeling sad for someone else, or feeling like I'm suffering for someone, and that's somehow noble or right or whatever, I don't know. It just kind of really begs the question, like, what does more suffering do? If you want, I don't know, to support your loved one, if you, whatever it is that you want there, if you want to be there for them, if you want to support them, like you say, they wouldn't want this to be impacting you in that way. And it really is just an interesting question of, like, does more suffering in the world help anything? And I really want you to ask that question for yourself and answer it yourself. It may look like an obvious no, but don't just take it at face value. Really look, what's this doing? What's it doing for you to suffer for her? What do you think it's doing for her? Like, ask these questions legitimately, inquire into this yourself, and see what comes up for you. And maybe there's something in there, behind it that will actually be really helpful to see. Typically, when we want to support someone, when that's our goal, we're always going to support when we're in a stronger place. That's how we become the support person, is we're in a different place. That's how we get to be caretakers, is we have to be in a different place than they are. So just sit with some of that yourself, Georgia, and see what comes up. So I hope it's helpful. Thank you so much for sending this question. And again, join me tomorrow. I'll put the link here for the free event. It's just a place to gather and get some support around the holidays. Uh, Ask anything that's on your mind. Talk about what you need. And this whole realm of seeing people suffer, especially in the last couple years, and especially around the holidays, knowing what people are going through, or thinking that we know what they're going through, seeing them suffer, and then taking that on ourselves. So much there to explore, and it just doesn't have to be the way it often is. So I really encourage you to come tomorrow to hear a little bit more about that. So thank you, Georgia, for sending your question. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. I'll see you next week.